What if I told you your goal of a pain-free life was possible? Would you be willing to make a few lifestyle changes to achieve that goal? Would you be willing to follow 7 guidelines for living a pain-free life? As a physiotherapist, I'm constantly seeing clients who are dealing with both acute and chronic pain. Using my extensive training and experience with clients, I've developed 7 guidelines you should follow to live a pain-free life. Now, these guidelines are actually quite simple. Anyone listening to this physio podcast could follow them. The real question is, are you motivated enough to actually make the changes? We'll see. I'm going to share with you the 7 guidelines and I want you to write them down. When you've finished writing them down, stick them on the toilet door or your fridge door. This way you're guaranteed to see them at least once per day. The goal is to turn these 7 guidelines into 7 habits. Habits take about 30 days to form, so it'll only be different for you for the next 30 days. Are you willing to invest 30 days to help you live a pain-free life? Hopefully you are. The first physio guideline is to move as many different ways as possible, as many hours of the day, every day. By moving, you allow your body to vary its movement and it keeps the workload balanced across your body. In a day, you most likely perform a number of repetitive movements. These repetitive movements create stress on the areas of the body involved in those movements and can lead to overwork, which then leads to painful, angry, and unhappy structures. By varying your movements, you spread the workload across the body and lower the chances of overwork and angry structures. The second physio guideline is to lift something heavy for 3 sets of 12 repetitions at least a few times a week. Now, I don't say this because I want you to tone your body. I say it because lifting heavy things stimulates new nerve to nerve and new nerve to muscle connections. Our muscles grow stronger as a result of these connections and our metabolism increases. We build more myelin around those pathways the more we use them. Just like going from dial-up internet to high-speed broadband internet. Just imagine what these new connections could do for helping prevent conditions such as Alzheimer's and depression. The third physio guideline is move every joint in as full a range of motion as possible at least once per day. By moving your joints and muscles in their full range of motion, you will maintain optimal flexibility. Short-range repetitive movements guarantees muscular stiffness, which then leads to acute or chronic pain. It also leads to a decrease in our body's muscular capacity, allowing a smaller amount of movement to lead to pain. The fourth physio guideline is to lift something quickly for 3 sets of 12 repetitions at least a couple of days a week. More than any other fitness attribute, such as strength training or endurance training, power is the most important attribute when it comes to aging healthily. Let's say, for example, you have a fall. If you can quickly activate your core muscles, then you may be able to protect yourself from injury during the fall. But if you are slow to activate, as you don't have the power inbuilt, then you could injure yourself more severely. The fifth physio guideline is to raise your heart rate at least 4 to 5 times per week. By raising your heart rate, you are making your heart work harder, which in turn makes it stronger. Not only that, but blood flow is increased, which helps to take away inflammation and fatty plaques that get lodged in your blood cells. When you increase the speed of blood flow, it helps clean up the congestion so blood can easily flow and a heart attack or stroke becomes less likely. Physio guideline number 6 is to not hold any posture for longer than 20 minutes, especially sitting. This doesn't mean you have to get up and go for a run. It simply means every 20 minutes you should get out of your chair and stretch or walk to get a drink of water. Do something which changes your position, moves different muscles, and introduces increased blood flow. Think about it like this. Pull a rubber band taut for a second and let it go. It easily comes back to its normal length. Pull a rubber band taut and hold for an extended period of time. It won't go back to its normal length, and if it does, it will take a while. This same concept occurs to our muscles, ligaments, tendons, and nerves. When our muscles are not at their normal length, they don't function optimally and can result in injury and not so good compensation. The seventh and final physio guideline is to eat as many vegetables and fruits as possible. They have a high nutrient to calorie ratio. So high nutrient to calorie ratio. Consuming calories causes stress in our bodies. The more nutrients we have to clean up the stress from digestion, the more easily we are able to keep our bodies in a relaxed and bodybuilding state. These 7 easy to follow physio guidelines will help you to live a pain-free life. Hopefully you write down each guideline. Now stick it on the fridge or the toilet door and remember to follow them each and every day. You deserve to live a pain-free life.